this week, JD Vance spoke at a rally in Detroit's Eastern Market, and as you can see here, some people were wearing auto workers for Trump shirts, but apparently, not all of them are actually auto workers. Not good. So how do we know this? Well, this incident ended up getting flagged by state politics reporter Craig Mauger with the Detroit News, who spoke to multiple audience members about their choice of clothing. He noticed a lot of them were wearing the Auto Workers for Trump t-shirt. He was wondering, cool, like, what plant do you work at? All of that. And several hundred people attended the event, including more than a dozen who were wearing Auto Workers for Trump's shirts. However, 6 of the people in the shirts told the Detroit News on Tuesday that they were not actually auto workers. The reporter spoke to 2 of the individuals, a gentleman by the name of Carl Leonard and then Terry Flannery, who clarified that they're just Trump supporters, but not auto workers at all. They said that the shirts were just given to them by Brian Panbecker, who founded the group. So Auto Workers for Trump 2024 began as a counter movement to the United Auto Workers union's endorsement of Democratic presidential candidate and Vice President Kamala Harris. But the group's support of the former president stretches back to just before the 2016 election. And while the UAW has absolutely given its endorsement to Kamala Harris in this presidential race, the Auto Workers for Trump has been attempting to basically ramp up their counter movement. And this seems to be like part of that. But you should have actual auto workers wear the t-shirts, not random people. So Panbecker was asked about this, and here's the answer that he gave to reporters. He told Newsweek, for instance, that he had asked from 30 to 40 auto workers, both active and retired, if they would like to attend the event to show support for the Republicans' pro-American worker policies. And then he says a couple of the active auto workers said that they had to work and couldn't get off, and asked if their spouse could have a seat in the place. Of course, I said yes, because these families deserve the opportunity to show their support for the candidates who understand what needs to be done to save Detroit's automotive industry and our economy. But there's no indication that these individuals who aren't auto workers but wore the shirts anyway are related to auto workers.
Yeah, they just made that up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so surprising from the guys who made up that they were auto workers, and by wearing them, having them wear t-shirts when they're not auto workers. So look, if you haven't figured out that Donald Trump and his entire team are pathological liars, you're never gonna figure it out. It's been a decade now. So in fact, the very first moment that he entered the race, when he came down the escalator, when he did that speech, the people in the audience were paid actors. That story broke later. They were paid $50 a piece. There was a classified ad, come cheer for someone, and it turned out that someone was Donald Trump. So now he has plenty of folks that's cheer him on, and he doesn't need to paid actors for that. But he doesn't have enough auto workers, so they're like, who cares? Just pretend we do. Have these guys wear the shirts. Nobody will know the difference anyway. And Trump's philosophy is fake it until you make it. Like, remember in the beginning, he used to pretend that he had all these African American voters and supporters. And at a rally once, he hilariously said, "There's my African American," like the one guy that's supporting him.
Yeah.
And there's always be this one clown black guy that was always in the background at all of his rallies, would travel along with him. It's pathetic, really, a dog and pony show. But now he faked it until he made it. Now he's got about 20% of the black vote.
Yeah, it's true. He did increase his support. There was a recent poll, forgive me, I don't remember exactly which one it was, but it showed that he has doubled his support among black voters in Ohio. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, look, the point I wanna make about this is you don't need to lie, right? Like, I actually think that he's campaigning with a stronger message than Kamala Harris is at the moment. He just held a rally in Detroit where he proposed allowing Americans to deduct how much they're paying in interest for their auto loans for their taxes. So it's a huge tax break that both stimulates the auto industry and also gives Americans a tax break. So you don't need to do these like fake t-shirt things.
Yeah, but he can't help himself. That's why, look, the bonus episode we got coming up, I'm gonna just start talking about Trump, and I'm not gonna stop because he makes up everything. I can't stand it. I can't stand that people who don't like the establishment then go, oh, then this deranged madman must be the correct answer. It drives me crazy. So stay right here. We'll make the bonus episode public for everyone. Normally it's just for members, but this time public, and I'm gonna keep talking and talking. I don't know if I'll contain myself to the half an hour we normally do or do a lot more.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.